Is there a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
Yes.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Say no. Okay, excellent. We'll go ahead and rise for those who are able to do the Pledge of Allegiance before we kick it off.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll get the agenda up here in a second. We'll go ahead and start with district updates. Commissioner Moritz.
Only one update. Mark Moritz, District 6. Only one update. I got an email from a resident from East Weber who heard about that the Bloomingdale area police is concerned about speeding in traffic and safety on Bloomingdale streets, and she argued, or she said that there's lots of speeding on East Weber Road. It's 35 miles an hour road, which makes no sense because there's a school and it's a residential street and it's highly dangerous. I gave her some tips on what to do. Contact the police, asking for a motorized officer to check for speed, call 311, and come to Bloomingdale Area Commissions to let her tell us about these concerns. That's it.
Thank you. Commissioner Miller.
Yeah, Drew Miller, District 9, nothing to report.
Our newest commissioner. I apologize, you're just walking in, but if you had a district update, please feel free to jump in.
So as everyone knows, the farmers market returns at the end of April, and I know everyone's excited about it. The farmers market brings challenges for District 4, particularly around parking. We often have cars that park over our driveways, they park in grass, they walk through backyards, back patios, and come through the market. So I would love to work with the commission and the city to come up with some viable parking solutions, because it really is a challenge for those living in District 4 that border their farmers market.
Can you introduce yourself?
I'm sorry, I'm Angela Saucer.
Sorry, we don't have a name tag yet.
No name.
District 4.
Josh Lively, District 8, nothing to report.
Freaking Bolton, District 5. I think I might have received the same correspondence that Commissioner Moritz referenced about speed limit and traffic activity on Weber, and definitely high priority concern that we'll discuss more this evening. Commissioner Latta.
Paul Latta, District 1. A few things. We had our second block watch meeting. We had about 20 people in attendance, but about 75% were new to the group. So we're spreading out to try to cover the entire district with the block watch. We'll have our next meeting on April 28th. That's a Monday at the church on East Tulane. Kelso and High now has an advanced pedestrian signal, like Olentangy, so that's kind of good. That's a really nice addition, especially since there's a bus stop right there. A lot of people get off from Ohio State to go home to the village. Blueprint construction, I've been following up on that. I'd like to have the blueprint people here in the next few months to talk about the next phase, which is everything south of Broadway. And lucky for us here on East Tulane, we're going to have blueprint construction beginning there in 2026. That's great.
Thank you. Commissioner Nutter.
Craig Nutter, District 2. Just a couple things to update. I wasn't here last month, so I apologize for that. The bike path is taking shape. Okay, on the south side of North Broadway, they've got the retention wall, and they're evening out the property there to get it as smooth as possible before they put down asphalt. I assume that's what it's going to be. They're still working on the bridge on the south side. However, the north side, they've got the metal work up, and they're working on the decking for the bridge. However, you have to take a ladder to get to the top of the bridge. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. I think they'll probably grade it up so they can cross it that way. I do also have a concern about traffic Speeding of traffic on North Broadway, not only just East North Broadway, but West North Broadway, seems to be getting more out of control. And the fact that, I think I mentioned that before, where we have trucks going 50 miles an hour, semi trucks going through, and especially early morning, like 5 or 6 in the morning. And then we also have a lot of cars going through at 2 and 3 in the evening, so early morning. The other concern I wanted to raise is, I don't know if any of you have also noticed an increase in graffiti, not only along High Street, but also in some of the side streets and signs and stuff. And I wish there was a way that we can get that addressed, to see if as a commission we can do some kind of charge against these people once they catch them, whether it's community service or what. To do that, so I think we need to look at that more in depth. But as far as, I think as far as the West Weber and East Weber construction, I haven't been by there lately. I assume it's all demolished now, just a matter of getting debris put away, taken away from it still. As far as being a good, we do have on North Broadway, I will tell you, we also have a one of our neighbors is hosting a democracy wave next Friday between 4:30 and 6:30. If you're familiar with Brenda Arnold's Halloween wave, it's on the same corner. A couple weeks ago she had one, and she had 40 people there, all in costume and different signs and for different things, and it was kind of interesting to watch. We sat on the front porch and watched it, but we didn't really participate in it. But she came over and talked to me about it, so I will mention it next time.
Next Friday, not
next
this week.
Friday, next Friday, not this Friday, but next Friday. So come by if you want to. So, the only other thing I have, is I do a Good Neighbor Award for this month. I really have to kind of recognize Riverside and the James Hospital crews. I've spent a lot of time there the last couple of months, so they're my good neighbor for the last couple of months. So it's nice to see that I'm back, and hopefully we'll stay back for a long time. So
We're glad to have you back.
Great to have you.
Commissioner Lee Osborne.
Donna Lee Osborne, District 3. I received several emails and a few phone calls regarding just kind of our position on the pedestrian activated crosswalks and the speeding. People were wanting us to kind of move the process along and wondering an update, so I informed them we'd be continuing the conversation this evening.
Thank you. And I failed to note at the top that Commissioner Wyman is excused absence tonight. He's under the weather. Great. Commissioner Moritz, approval of March's minutes.
Share the minutes with everyone, and one email saying that everything was good. So assuming everything was good.
Great. Motion to approve the minutes.
So moves.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? Fantastic. Commissioner Miller, Treasurer's report.
Yes, we do have some business to discuss tonight. Our neighborhood liaison, Ms. Stacy, does have a couple of budget sheets that she's asked us to fill out. So with the new allowable expenses, between January 1st and April 10th of this year, we had $2,500. So we didn't spend very much of that. We technically have a little over $1,500 left. But Stacy provided those receipts for me, so I understand exactly where we spend that money. Now we had $2,500 to spend between April 30th, 2025, and let me confirm those dates real quick. Another $2,500 between May 1st of this year and April 10th of next year. So part of the exercise that we need to do is just put an estimate into, there's 11 different budget categories. I don't know if you were on that email chain. Could you pull up that?
Yeah,
that
totally.
sheet for me? And so this is just an estimate of what we would spend, and I do have a recommendation my goal is that we can spend all this money, because there is a lot of allowable expenses that I think we could take advantage of. And we can use this money, aside from the normal business we have, as far as like office supplies, you know, publicizing the election, you know, our domain registration, things like that. There is a category for administrative and special projects, and I'd love for us to be able to get our committees to spend some of that money and use it in a good way. So if everyone agrees, if you could scroll down, yep, right there. So like I said, I do have a pretty good idea of what we've spent over the past couple of years, where it falls in line with these. And it's really not much, definitely doesn't add up to $2,500. But what I was gonna propose is, and our neighborhood liaison can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is just an estimate, we're really not tied to any of these categories.
Absolutely not.
Okay. So I was gonna propose $1,000 for category 1, administrative and special projects. Number 4, office supplies would be $300. Number 6, marketing and social media would be $500. Number 8, printing and copying would be $500. And number 9, postage and DL would be $200. Again, this is just an estimate, we're not really tied to any of these figures. I'm not even sure how the city uses this estimate. But I would love for us to find ways to use this money next year in responsible and good ways.
Thank you, Commissioner Miller. And so what's our balance that we have for like one more week?
$1,500.
Does that carry over?
Doesn't that?
Usually lose
Beats
it.
part.
Yeah.
So we were just talking before the meeting, I don't want to put Chair Hardwick on the spot, but we were just talking about how we received a public comment around when we do our YouTube videos, that it's difficult for folks to hear. So we were talking about the possibility of purchasing some microphones. Is that something we could do in the next week potentially to spend down some more of those dollars? I don't know that they would cost $1,500, but.
Yeah, I can totally address that. I did talk to Mr. Hardwick, and even though the funds kind of go through April 30th, the weird part is like the way the P card works, the charges have to be on the account by the 10th.
Okay.
So that they can code it correctly, and then, you know, whoever Crystal has to do with it. So if I can get what you would like, I know this is a very tight turnaround, by early next week, I can get that P card and go ahead and buy that, whatever microphones you need.
Are there any other, just since we're on deck to lose this money, Commissioner Leosford?
So special projects is item 1. So the money, the $1,500, can that go towards special projects from last year, or is that something moving forward in 2025, 26?
The money has to be spent. Are you meaning like a reimbursement type of thing?
I guess I don't understand exactly what special projects means, but is there something out there that we can use that funding for?
If you know of anything that is like coming that you want to pre-purchase, we can do that.
So I have an idea. I mean, the Arbor Fest, I know they, you know, they're looking for opportunities to find funding. And I'm wondering if we can use that. I mean, it is a special project. We are really a part of that. Or if we can, you know, help them in some way with ordering supplies or signs or whatever.
That's a great idea. Go ahead, Chair Hardwick, yeah.
If anyone has expertise and enough expertise to help me figure out which microphones would work wirelessly with the Viva, I would be grateful. I'm kind of nervous about trying to figure that out too quickly.
What's it called?
It's the Mevo 27RYG. And it could probably be best to have microphones that you can spread around the table.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I see Green Spot co-chairs here, but I can reach out to them after this meeting as well and ask them if they can identify things to help us. We'll price out the microphones here as quickly as we can and see if we can get some Arbor Fest projections.
Do business cards and nameplate for Angela, does that come out of a
business cards can come through the print shop, which are free. But I know that you guys don't do the name tags through a print shop, but that, if I can get those details with the name tags and the, business cards here quickly, I can definitely make that happen.
I don't know how, where these things came from. You good or? No. Oh.
I ordered I did order business cards for last year.
Yeah.
All right, let me see if I can't look in my email and try to find what company you guys went through, because they have all of the designs.
It's Capital Awards.
Yes.
Oh, it's Capital Awards, okay.
We also have an invoice I just got this evening from our graphic designer, from Centipede Graphics, so we can include that.
Yes.
before April as
Yeah,
well.
I can make that happen.
But just, it's a little more complicated than just buying it. I have to start an account, unless it's with Staples or, I think Staples is the only one. you can
For
do.
microphones,
For microphones, I have to create an account, get tax exempt
Exemption.
approved, and that can take a couple days.
Let me do it.
You'll do,
Oh.
if we get you one, if we get you the stuff.
I have a question.
sure.
I don't, about the, budget, I don't know if there's anything that allows for donations. Maybe we can kind of give an in-kind donation to the library.
If you look up on the first page with the allowable expenses, I don't remember if there's anything up there for donations, but I don't, so.
I don't think it's an allowable, I love the idea, and I had
Yeah.
thought about it before because I was wondering whether we could send unused funds to the CRC as well as another neighborhood option. I don't think,
I don't think it is.
I don't think we could do
Because
that,
we don't pay to have the space.
no. But I like that idea.
It says any additional expense not indicated shall require prior approval from the Department of Neighborhood, so donations are on there. You gotta just ask.
Maybe for next year, I feel like it's a tight turnaround for this week, but we can put that on the radar for next year. Any other discussion among commissioners about spending down our 2025 funds and or the budget that Commissioner Miller has proposed for next year?
I heard that there's a group working on bringing back fireworks to Linville, and they're even looking at possibly this year, so I don't know if that's an area where we could do some of the funds for.
The fireworks committee.
Sounds like a special project.
It is, a special project.
I'm not gonna be the person that says we're not giving money to fireworks, that's for sure.
Well, if we can find a way to promote the area commission.
It's a great idea.
We'll look into that for maybe the funds that start
I'll
in
ask the
May.
question.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but with this tight turnaround, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to be realistic that maybe that would be for next year's special projects bucket. If we have left over here after microphones and graphic design and we put it toward Arbor Fest, and then we could use next year's toward fireworks, I think those would be two great community events to support. Great call out. Yeah, sure.
As far as the training goes, is it possible that we can do like an in-house training for commissioners? Just as far as working with, next year's officers and those kind of things, so commissioners know what they're getting into and those kind of things too, training, team building type of thing, so.
Yeah, I think the city offers a lot of trainings, so I wouldn't want to be duplicative of their trainings. But if you've got something in mind, please feel free to share.
What this team building is you want to do.
I'm not doing a ropes course.
Axe throwing or something.
Training.
Sorry to jump back, but does anybody know who the group is that is organizing the fireworks?
Cliff.
Oh.
They have a Facebook page, but Cliff would be my go-to person to ask. Okay, great. additional questions for Commissioner Miller?
Oh, Stacy, do we need to vote on this proposed budget?
At least so, yes. And then just send it to me after.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve, and I realize I put this in the 2025 document, I'll move it to the 2026. To approve this proposal that we are not tied to and can move around if needed. I'll move to approve the suggested budget. Is there a second? Second from Commissioner Moritz. All those in favor, aye? Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Excellent. Thank you for keeping this timely. Appreciate it. All right. Stacy, if you wouldn't mind just kicking off city updates while you've already been put on the spot, please feel free.
Yeah, you've heard a lot from me tonight. It's okay. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I did go ahead and send that to you earlier today. It's mostly just for information for the commissioners. The next area commissioner training is on planning, variance, and rezoning. It is on Wednesday, April 23rd from 6 to 8:30 at 111 North Front Street. This is an interactive training where you're going to be on the computer and learning how they do all those things. Space is limited to only 15 seats, so once the RSVP email comes out, just make sure that you go ahead and RSVP, but I'd also ask you to just send me a message saying, hey, RSVP, make sure it's done, and it'll be done. There's also been a little bit of an issue, if you read my email, that making sure that we are having guidance, speaking to council or the media. And this is from my supervisor, David Hui. And so I'm just kind of going to read this, if you don't mind. Area commissioners may not claim to be speaking on behalf of the AC without the AC's knowledge or consent. If they're going to speak on behalf of the AC, it should be discussed and approved by majority vote of the prior AC meeting. If they are speaking for themselves as a resident, like a personal opinion type of thing, make it very clear before you speak to the media or city council that this is just and you're not speaking on behalf of the council, or excuse me, the commission, because there has been recently kind of that happening in front of media and council where they say that they're a commissioner and then speak their mind, fine, but they're not speaking their mind on behalf of your collective body. So just make sure that you distinguish between the two before speaking publicly, council, media, and so forth. And then the last thing is a message from the Columbus Recreation and Parks Department is that you are invited to, like one or two of you, to attend a training to help shape the Columbus Park and Rec's 10-year vision plan, which is called Playbook Columbus. The training is intended to equip you to host a small group meeting to invite your neighborhood, your neighbors, your friends, your social networks to share input on the big plans of their vision. That training is Tuesday, April 29th from 6 to 7 at the new Frank Ryan Center, 865 East Capitol Street. So basically that just equips you with how to have these small group conversations regarding the 10-year vision of the Columbus Parks and Park. So that is all I have for you. I want to piggyback on the graffiti. If you let me know, like, kind of where to look. I feel like that you and I did this together last year, and I went, and I love field trips. Give me a field trip any day, give me out of the office, and I'll go and take pictures, and I'll submit those 301s for you. If it's like on city pools, and like that's our responsibility, but if it's on private property, it's theirs. So I can definitely do that for you. I feel like there was something, nope, that was it. So we can either talk after the meeting, or we can email, call, whatever.
Okay, Stacy.
Okay. All right. Any questions, please?
Questions from the public?
And I'll let you know again.
We do have one question.
Okay, is the graffiti a trip of Columbus?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Is it a tour or is it?
A tour? No, like what I meant was like if there's graffiti that happens in the neighborhood, what I like to do is just get out and take photos of it myself and submit those requests to 301 myself, because sometimes that puts a little urgency on it. So if you let me know if there has been graffiti pop up in your area, yeah, just let me know. I have a card I can give to you with my contact information afterwards, and I can help you report those things.
Good. No, the trip is like my field trip out of the office, my own personal field trip to just go to my neighborhood, so, yeah. All right, great, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
And I saw Ms. Michelle back there too, I think. Good evening.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome.
Good evening. Thank you, Chair. Hope everybody's doing well today. Weather's kind of ugly, so hopefully we can brighten up people's moods. But okay, I have a lot of updates. I'm so sorry in advance. First, of course, we have our Monday council meeting coming up again next week at 5 o'clock, City Hall, downtown. If you want to know what's on the agenda, just visit columbus.gov for that. You can also stream it virtually, so you don't even have to leave your house. You can just watch from the comfort of your couch, if you like. But I am usually there, so you can catch me there if you go. And then also, we have a Cleaner Columbus citywide cleanup this April 5th. If you want more details about this citywide cleanup, you can email cleanercolumbus@columbus.gov for information. And again, that's this Saturday. And then also this Saturday, we have a free record sealing and expungement clinic that's coming from Franklin County. Actually, so this is on the county level, and if this is something that you're interested, you can come see me after the meeting. I can give you the details on that. On April 9th, Council is hosting an event called Navigating Healthcare and Community Conversation, and this is going to be at the Hilltop Library, and it is going to just kind of talk about how you can advocate for yourself at the doctor's office and how you can get some resources as well. We will have like CPH and several other nonprofit organizations that service all of you guys there, so you can get any material you need and maybe get started with some services. Next, there is also a community housing resource fair. Not this Saturday, next Saturday the 12th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The address for that is 111 Liberty Street, Suite 100. And then this is actually from MORPC. They've collaborated with the City of Columbus, the COAAA, the Auditor's Office, and several other organizations and government entities. They're going to have housing resources and programs, home repair, home ownership and down payment assistance, general contractor opportunities, eviction prevention and tax foreclosure, landlord and tenant rights. These are all things that they are going to have at this resource fair. So if you are in need of any of these resources or you know someone, just again, come see me at the MS. I have a lovely newsletter that I'll be sending out tomorrow with all this information. And then on the 16th, Councilman Christopher Weich will be doing his Wednesdays with Weich. And it is going to be, it's actually just to save the date. We don't have a location quite yet. Again, see my newsletter tomorrow. But it's going to be April 16th, and it's the Earth Month edition, so it should be a lot of fun. And then moving on to May, we have our Africa Day celebration on May 22nd. It's a Thursday. That'll be at City Hall downtown from 4 to 7 p.m. And then last, we have the 4th Annual Latino Heritage Month Parade and Fiesta, which will be in September. So super early save the date, but it's going to be a lot of fun. It's September 13th, and of course more details will be to come as I come to our meeting. So that was a lot. I don't know if anyone has any questions, but happy to answer any.
Yeah. Any questions from commissioners?
When is the homeowner? What day was that?
The 12th, Saturday the 12th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And I do have one more question.
Yes, my name is Mr. Wilkins. So you had talked about this doctor care on the west side. I would love to see more of that, also the housing thing. I just feel like we're leaving out the multi-disability people and the visually impaired population out there. I would just like to see different locations where people can advocate for themselves as far as doctors' lives. If it's going to be on the west side of town, I don't think everybody knows that. All of North, Linden, Grogan, South Linden.
Yeah.
So I just want to see more of that and making sure having these flyers out there to make sure people are aware of this. Also the housing piece. I don't know if that's on the bus line, but I did not know that information. But you do have a lot of people that have rental problems, landlords and things and stuff like that. If something could be like that, be televised in the Columbus Dispatch paper or somewhere like that with a flyer, because Linden, South Linden, east of Linden, all that, we want to make sure that people can have knowledge of this information, and where if we don't have knowledge of this information, how will people know it, especially the elderly population. And so when I'm running into a lot of these people, they're telling me they have problems with landlords and all this other stuff. So again, I'm from North Linden, and I do hear a lot of this. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And I will say the navigating healthcare, it's a subcommittee at City Council that I actually have to be on. So this is the first of this type of event. We're hoping that we'd be able to do these for several other areas of the city. But we just started with the west side because we actually will have Councilman Green, who covers District 6. And that's the west side, so she will be on the panel, and we wanted to do it in her district. But as we see how this event goes, we'd love to make sure we can duplicate it in several different areas. Hopefully bring one here, have Councilman Dorans, and I'm just pitching things, so don't go to my boss and tell him that I said this. Yeah, so that's just some background on that event. And then the forum, or not the forum, the resource fair is actually coming from Warp C. It's not particularly council, I was just helping to spread the word. So I will let them know if we can try to post some more on social media, and we can focus more also on like North Linden and other different areas. If you haven't heard of it and you feel like you should have by now, I'm happy to talk to them and let them know like, hey, here's some areas that we should really try to focus broadcasting this information.
Another question, not to cut you off, but some of these people, like the elderly, the visually impaired, doesn't have the capability. So if there could be some flyers set up in here in different parts of the community or area commissions where we can pick up and sign on that, where we can bring them back, that would be a feasible thing to do. And also have something large print or either braille copies. So thank you for your time.
Yes. And I usually do have physical flyers, but I didn't print any this time, so that is on me. But yes. Yes, ma'am.
To piggyback on what he said about the elderly not being aware of said information because they haven't yet gotten into the digital world of technology. To piggyback on that, they actually need a little bit of old-fashioned coasting into technology, because things have went so fast, even for the ones who do know about technology. It's going so fast that we don't want to leave anybody behind.
Right. So thank you. I will make sure to work with our team to identify different spaces and organizations to make sure we are letting everybody know where they're at.
One more question. I was at City Council the other day, and I had discussed about, I guess someone's gonna start a disability group for visually impaired people as myself. And so looking at some larger print material, braille copies and those things. And so, because I serve on the North Linden Area Commission now, and so for that term, we just want some information, large print, or some type of audio device where people can pick up at the library to be more feasible for that, so they know what's going on. Because my wife is visually impaired and blind. So, you know, looking at those type of technologies, that would be grateful for any area commission. And thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. We're gonna have to move on to our next agenda item so we can keep on track tonight. Thank you so much for coming tonight, Susan. We are going to pivot to our Planning and Development Committee. We've got our chair, Elizabeth Dexter and Jacob Sauer here tonight, and I've got the PowerPoint lined up. So I can scroll, or you can scroll, whatever y'all like.
Sure. I'll just really briefly introduce what this is for. Annually, we are tasked with coming up with a list of potential capital improvement projects that the area commission can then develop a resolution in support of if they so choose to pass along to the city. This typically had happened in August, September, in prior years. Last year it got moved up a bit. So our plan tonight is to show you some of our preliminary findings. And then in May or June, we'd like to come back and have a list of potential projects to share with the broader group.